I just wanted to take some time and talk about this Rafael Devers trade now that it's been a couple hours and I've had time to gather my thoughts. Um, this is kind of insanity by the Boston Red Sox. We've seen this before, but we've seen it from the Colorado Rockies. I mean, is the most famous example of it. Signing a player with absolutely no plan on actually keeping him. I don't really believe that this is just down to the Devers playing first base situation. Could it maybe be more about how unhappy Devers is with the lineup around him, um, and the lack of other star power around him, and of course the disillusion of the team that he came up on? That I think all Boston fans know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the third time now that this has happened with a franchise level star for the Boston Red Sox being traded specifically to a National League West franchise. Mookie Betts to the Dodgers, Xander Bogaerts to the Padres, and now, of course, Rafael Devers to the Giants, which I can barely believe that I'm saying because don't the Giants have Matt Chapman at third base on a ridiculous contract? And didn't Devers, who's also on a crazy long contract, just tell the Red Sox that he didn't want to play first base? So is he going to play first base when he goes over to the Giants? I mean, he's still got 7 years on his contract. What's he going to do? Demand another trade, or are they going to play Chapman at first? Or is Chapman injured or something? I mean, yes, Matt Chapman is injured, but he just has a sprained hand. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens when he comes back. I mean, there's obviously the DH. They have him listed on Fangraphs, Rafael Devers, as their DH. But I mean, you're looking at the Giants, and I think a big part of this is the success of Jung Ho Lee this year, and just the success the Giants have had this year as well. We're not that far removed from that season where the Giants won, over 100 games and challenged the Dodgers in that, classic 5-game NLDS. So you can definitely see a situation here where the Giants see this as a win now trade, and they might be right, might be. Sadly, I think the Red Sox have also deluded themselves into thinking that this is a win now trade for them, which is just kind of sad. It's very, very optimistic, but also sad. It's the Red Sox very clearly vastly overestimating their own player development, which is, of course, a hallmark of teams that are afraid of actually spending money to keep the talent they have developed. So why would any Red Sox fan ever actually trust Marcelo Meyer to stay here for his whole career at this point? Christian Campbell, Roman Anthony, if they literally become the player you're hoping that they become, your team isn't going to keep them. They're going to be on a National League West team in a matter of one trade deadline or the other, right? Is this just, Pirates fans already wearing Paul Skeens Yankees jerseys to the game as a joke to say he might as well be on a big team already, right? It's shameless that the Boston Red Sox, I have nothing else to do but compare them to that. And the Red Sox front office's only argument back would be, well, we brought up Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, we have Ceddanne Rafaela, we have a young core. Any team can have a young core if they call up their minor leaguers. Now, Roman Anthony hit a 500-foot grand slam, and Marcelo Mayer is who he is. But if they struggle at all, if these young players struggle at all, you're going to fall out of the division race. Look at what's happening to the Rockies. The Rockies did something very similar at the start of the year and brought up a lot of their highly touted prospects to the major leagues, and they might be worse than the 1889 Cleveland Spiders. They might set the record for the worst team in baseball history, and that's what the Red Sox just issued. Most of those young players that they brought up, they had to send back down to the minor leagues, the Rockies, because they struggled so much. I remember early in the season thinking, how are the Rockies this bad? And going to look at the Rockies roster and being shocked at how little players like Drew Romo, Adel Amador, and Hunter Goodman, at how poorly they were performing. These guys that they had brought up to the roster expecting them to carry the offense, and absolutely none of them were performing at anywhere near the Rockies' expectations. The Red Sox could have very easily set themselves up for exactly the same scenario. Imagine what they're going to do with this team if they have to send these guys down, if they have to send Roman Anthony down, if they have to send Christian Campbell down, right? I like who do you even have to fill those gaps, right? You're going to be calling up the AAA team. You're going to be calling up guys from the minor leagues. It's going to turn into a situation where the Red Sox are going to, blow up the rest of the team at the deadline. And in that case, who do you even trade? Who do you even get rid of? What does this team even look like by September? This is very much not a win now trade. It's a lot more likely to be a, soft rebuild kind of situation, which why not just enter a hard rebuild the second that you trade away Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts and admit that's what you're doing and stop wasting everyone else in the American League East's time.